We'll call the meeting to order at 6:32. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Heads up, still echoing. Do we have a volume we can turn down?
I think it's on TV. It is on TV.
Testing, 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 testing. We're about there. Good. Okay. This evening, I would like council action actually to remove two items. They're under the license applications, the temporary on-sale liquor license for Windom softball and the authorization to dispense liquor from Windom softball. Would there be a motion in order, and this is because they could not get their insurance as of the date of application at their request.
I would make that motion to remove those two items.
I'll second.
Motion Jenny, second Jim, to remove those two items as declared. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So what we have in the consent agenda this evening would be the council minutes of May 7th, joint government meeting April 29th, EDA meeting May 13th, planning and zoning May 14th, library board May 14th, park and rec May 8th, HRA May 8th. The license applications would be amplification permits, Windom Chamber of Commerce, for the pedal pole and entertainment, the courthouse square, and these are all on 6/9 or in June as far as Riverfest goes. The mini golf, escape room entertainment, Lion Club cookout band with fireworks, Riverfest celebration, courthouse square, fireworks and music at Teagles Park, and family fun day at Island Park. Also included are the regular bills. Any questions on that quick review? Motion would be in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion Dennis, second by Scott, to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, and Jim, your mic is on. Next, we have department heads. Good evening.
Thank you. Kari Hansen with the library. Wanted to give an update. We're getting ready for our summer reading program. We kicked that off with our students on Friday, June 7th. We have the Zoo Man coming. He's always a big hit. He'll be at the Highland Early Childhood Center at 1 o'clock on that Friday. Next week on Tuesday, we have an author event. We have Minnesota author William Kent Kruger coming, and it's a big deal for us to get him. It's not, a lot of times these authors, when they come, they're kind of doing a Plum Creek system-wide event, but we are the only library that is getting him this time. And I think he and I had been emailing back and forth for about a year and a half. And he threw out a date and time, and I said, done, let's do it. So we're excited to have him join us next Tuesday. On our theme, so we'll have bingo sheets for infants, all ages, all the way up through adults. So bingo challenges for kids and adults as well throughout the whole summer. So,
Could you give us examples of books he's written or his subject
yeah,
matter type thing?
his probably the most popular is based on a character by the name of Cork O'Connor. And the 20th book in that series will come out in August. And it takes place, it follows a sheriff and his relationship with the indigenous population. And, you know, it's very, very popular. He has several standalones as well. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they don't like one of his books. So very, very popular. So, and uses his Minnesota roots, you know, and weaves that into his stories. And he also, his speaking engagement fee, he turns and donates that all to American Indian charities, and he donates everything. So.
Thank you. All right, any other questions? Okay, thanks, Corey. Any other department heads this evening? Okay, we're going to move on to the public hearing for the residential tax abatement, Plum Bay subdivision, Lot 2, Block 1. Tiffany's here to briefly explain, and then we'll open up for hearing.
Thank you. Tiffany Lamb, EDA Director. At the last meeting on May 7th, I had requested a public hearing be called for today's date regarding a residential tax abatement. That is for 705 Plum Avenue here in Windom. Applicants met all of the statutory requirements, as well as the city having met the public noticing period for the public hearing. So we're requesting to hold the public hearing and then to adopt a resolution that was provided approving the tax abatement on that home. Just for reference, it is 705 Plum Avenue. Construction's being completed by Borsgard Construction, and the estimated 5-year tax abatement is for a total of $9,220.15.
And that was based on the max amount, right? I believe it was 350? I'm sorry.
320 is the maximum for the program. There is a cap on that. They are anticipating the actual value of the home to be greater than $400,000. So we basically are looking at the cap for this.
Thank you. Okay, any questions for Tiffany prior to the hearing? Seeing none, we are going to open a public hearing in regards to the tax abatement program for 705 Plum Bay subdivision, Lot 2, Block 1. That hearing is open. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? And the final time, would anybody like to comment? One thing for, I lost it, so it must not be important. With that, we are going to close the public hearing. Public comment is over. Receiving none. Steve, have we, or Tiffany, have we received anything in writing objection?
I've received no verbal nor written contact about the public hearing.
Thank you. With that, does the council have any questions? If not, we have a resolution before us approving the tax abatement. As stated, council wish to take action.
I would introduce that resolution for the tax abatement at 705 Plum Avenue.
I'll second it.
The resolution introduced by Jenny and seconded by Scott. Almost forgot his name. Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Quaid,
Yes.
Esplin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Grunig, Benson.
Yes.
Resolution carries 4-0 and 1 absent. Thank you. Thanks, Tiffany.
Thank you.
New business. Under old business, I have like a topic that has been continuing discussion here for the past couple months in regards to the MnDOT presentation that we will be held on June 4th. That will be from 4 o'clock, I believe, the start of it, and it will end at 6. That will be at the community center. What I'd like to put out there for discussion from the council is I would really like the opportunity to discuss anyway, having our council meeting up at the community center and encourage residents that want to speak to take the mic at that time. It'll be fairly close to, we'll start at 6:30, but, I'd like to give that opportunity of ease for our residents to make public comment there rather than coming down here. I think we'd lose some people. I hope that we gain some people by having it up there. I'd like that to be advertised as such if the council agrees with this. I would like to encourage the public to make public comment for, against, either way. I mean, this is a personal choice on this, but I would like to hear what the public has to say. And I would like to hear it, excuse me, and not taking anything away from MnDOT, they have a job to do as well. However, I think there's some misunderstandings on this whole situation, and I just want to make sure that the public has available to talk in front of the council, and so the council can hear the comments. We have not heard a lot of public comment when we're all together, and I think that would be a great opportunity to do so. The negatives with that is it will not be televised live as it is this evening. It will be at the community center, and I do think we can find some way to record that and provide it to the public. Jim, do you have a question?
Tim told me yesterday he can record it, but it'll just be later, just like our meetings during the week or whatever, so.
Tim, okay, and we'll leave that up to staff. I'm just want to include recording it by someone to be able to do that so we can play it for the public, and keep it also as a record. There has been folks, legislative folks that are could be there, and I'd like to hear from them. This is a pass-through through southwest Minnesota. This is a big deal. And either way the council goes on this thing, it's important that we hear from the public. And I've stated that, and I think we have to encourage the public to make public comment. This is their time. And if they want us to listen, I mean, that is their opportunity. I know we've all talked to people in our community about this. I've had more since last council meeting. And, and they can tell us individually, that's fine, but I would like to have this recorded. Now, maybe there's some other caveats the council would like, but that's my thoughts. I'd like the council's input.
No, I totally agree. I think having it up at the community center following their meeting makes it easier for people. They don't have to travel. Plus, we have a lot more space at the community center. I mean, we've had hot topics here before, and we don't have room for everybody to even be in here and all hear what the comments are. So, yeah, I would be in favor of having the council meeting at the community center and having that open public comment section towards the beginning of the meeting.
And I would encourage it to be the first item on the agenda.
It'll be right after the consent calendar.
Sure, okay.
I also agree, and I think their voice would speak very loudly and to us what their theme and what direction they would want us to go with right then and there, so we don't have to try to second guess what other people would want and stuff like that. So I agree, we should be up there right with them so we can hear even MnDOT's feedback to them as they're all conversing back and forth. I believe that would help us direct our comments and our direction to go.
And I do believe that, you know, we need to be fair to MnDOT. We need to let them know where this is gonna happen, the agenda items, the opportunity for the public to speak. This is the hearing, right? I mean, this is where they have their opportunity. Yes, you council members have the vote, not the public. That's true, but I don't like that rationale that they use to tell us that. So we want the opportunity that they can speak their piece in front of MnDOT, let their voices be heard and listened to by the council before you take action. I know not everybody's happy with it, you know, but there's two different resolutions that have to be considered. And I've told you before, I'm in favor of the stoplights because that thing, I don't even know if the pole is straight today. But, you know, I think that's one thing that I'm in favor of going forward with, because I think that needs to be replaced either way. We're never gonna be able to, you got half of it paid for by MnDOT. I think that needs to happen. We need to find the money to do that. But, once again, that's council. Other comments, or agree or disagree? One thing we will have to do is take a vote on this to move the, don't we? Oh, we can, just as long as we notify the public where it's at.
Yeah, code just required if you have special meetings, date and time are what's necessary. The meeting location, I think you have flexibility to do that.
Thank you, Steve. Easier than I thought.
Well, you can still make a vote if you wish.
I would like to know the feeling of the council, so I am going to ask for a vote on that. If somebody would like to introduce that to start our council meeting at 6:30 p.m. on June 4th at the community center.
I make a motion to start the council meeting at the community center on
It's a regularly scheduled time.
on a regular scheduled time up to community center.
I'll second.
Motion by Scott. I'm going to take Jim's second. Any discussion or additional comments you want to make? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Any other old business? Any comments on the cleanup day? Or have more later?
I think we'll have a little bit more information on debriefing that at the next meeting when we get all the statistics compiled. But we did talk with Hometown. They thought it went pretty well. They got done a little earlier than anticipated. What was collected on the curbs was slightly under last year. But what they saw at Teagles Park getting dropped off, staff felt that was a little above what happened last year. So there are still some piles that people have on curbs of things that were not eligible to get picked up. So those got left as they should. But we encourage people to go out and get those addressed so they don't become a nuisance.
Thank you for the update, Steve. Sure. Anything else? Council comments, Scott?
Yes, with the pickup being taken care of and stuff like that, we gotta find people that are not mowing the yards, as far as if they don't understand they have to mow it at a certain height, or if it's a nuisance, or if there's people that don't understand our ordinances for that, please go help your neighbors, or try to explain to other people that they have to mow their yards and get things taken care of. And you cannot blow the discharge of your yard into the street, because it goes into the curb, goes down the gutter system, goes into our rivers, and it plugs everything up, our gutter system and stuff like that is, and actually a law against pouring it into the street, because I mean, as far as the safety, when you're riding motorcycles on our city streets, you hit that grass, you're going down, you're gonna hurt people, so I would encourage you to talk to your neighbors if you see high grass, or call the city and put a complaint in, and we'll get it taken care of one way or another, but please help your neighbors, be Minnesota nice and help your neighbors out. If they don't have a lawnmower, ask them if they need to borrow yours, or try to help out however you can, but make sure you do not blow it into the street. We're having a lot of problems with them blowing grass clippings and stuff into the street. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. Jenny?
I was kind of going to go on that line too. Just reminding people that Riverfest is coming up, our big town celebration, the first week of June. And so if you do have garbage that wasn't picked up, things that weren't, get those taken care of, get those off your curb and mow our lawns. Let's make our town shine for when we have normally a lot of people coming home that, were from Windom, or class reunions, different things like that. So we really want to make our town look nice and special for that first week of June, and always, but especially for that, if I could make a plea for people to do that. Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. Jim?
I would just encourage everyone to be out to the council, or to the community center on June 4th at 4 o'clock for the meeting with the MnDOT. It's, to me, it's pretty important. A lot of old timers is probably important.
Dennis?
Yeah, I just agree with the mayor and Jim 100%. I just encourage everybody to show up at that next meeting and voice your opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Steve, anything to that? Scott caught me off guard. I was gone for a few days, and my grass is now over 8 inches tall.
Seven's the limit.
Is it 7? And I think it's 8. Well, as soon as it quits raining briefly, I will get that taken care of. So
He's got a baler.
it's okay. It's not quite that bad, but it's starting to seed, if that gives you indication. So, all right. Yep. Thank you, Scott, for watching over that. That's all I have. We're adjourned by unanimous consent. Thank you.